Chapter 1335. Seeing Xingqi's promise, Takehiko's voice eased a little. He asked, "Xingqi, have you had lunch?" Xingqi replied truthfully, "Returned to my father, I was training when I came back from the gym, and I haven't had lunch yet." Uehiko hummed, and said, "It's so good. I think it's noon now." You simply invite Kwamsuki to have lunch with you, which can be regarded as a way of hospitality for your father. Invite him for lunch? Xingqiu was somewhat reluctant. She herself is a girl with a relatively cold personality, and when her family was teaching her feminine etiquette, she kept a sufficient distance from outside men. In addition, she had been obsessed with martial arts for many years, so she had nothing to do with men. Except for her family, she grew up so old that she had never eaten privately with a young man. Even her assistant Koichi Tanaka never had a chance to eat with herself. However, she could also hear the toughness of her father's tone, knowing that it might be useless to oppose him, so she said, "Good father, Xingqiu understands." Yuhiko said with satisfaction, "Xingqiu, the family has a very important cooperation with Suki Pharmaceutical now in progress, so you must not neglect the other party, understand?" Xingqiu hurriedly said, "I see, my father." After hanging up the phone, Xingqiu sighed helplessly. She called Hiroshi Tanaka and said to him, "Tanaka, please help me entertain Mr. Suki first. I was sweating during my practice and I need to take a shower." Hiroshi Tanaka hurriedly agreed, then turned to Kwamsuki and said, "Mr. Suki, please wait a moment. Our eldest lady needs a shower. She will arrive later." When Kwamsuki heard that Xingqiu would like to see him, he was deeply excited, but on the surface he said calmly, "Okay, Mr. Tanaka, I am waiting for Miss Xingqiu here." 10 minutes later, Xingqiu, who took the shower, changed into a simple and plain Japanese home clothes. At this time, she can no longer see the traces of years of martial arts practice. She is completely a gentle traditional Japanese woman. Tanaka took Kwamsuki to Xingqiu's presidential suite. When Kwamsuki saw Xingqiu, he was shocked. He couldn't help but marvel in his heart, "My God! Why is this woman so beautiful? So pure? Her eyes are clear and lustrous, like a work of art carefully carved from the sky, the face like a goose egg is white and flawless, the exquisite nose is like a treasure of the world, and the thin lips like cherry blossoms are delicate and fascinating." In the eyes of Kwamsuki, she is like the crystal clear water of Tianchi on the top of a snow-capped mountain, dignified, quiet, gentle, and a little cold. Only on this side, Kwamsuki fell in love with this woman deeply, and secretly vowed in his heart, "I must marry her as my wife. Even if it is to let me join her family, I will not hesitate. Because besides her, there is no such perfect woman in this world." Kwamsuki desperately suppressed his deep desire for Xingqiu, but Xingqiu still found a touch of desire that could not be suppressed in his eyes. This made her feel a little disgusted in her heart, feeling that Kwamsuki's eyes were like a drop of meaty lard dripping into a cup of fine tea. However, she was not good at expressing her disgust, so she could only say very politely, "Mr. Suki, sorry, I just made you wait a long time." Kwamsuki hurriedly waved his hand and said, "No, no, no, Miss Xingqiu don't need to be so polite." She took the liberty to come to the door. Actually, she was abrupt in Shimo. "Please don't mind.